Hey everyone, what's up? Yeah, I got about 53 minutes, or 52 minutes I should say, remaining on my lunch. I just went on it. But I thought I'd do this video, and I know it's a little windy, so I do apologize for that. But I thought I'd do this video talking about, how I feel IDW may help the Archie Sonic comics in the future. You see, as crazy as this sounds, we're supposed to get some kind of word by the end of this month. In other words, within the next week or so, we're supposed to get some kind of word on the future of the Sonic books by Archie. We don't know specifically what that future will entail to. We don't know exactly what that future is going to hold. Some are saying that the most likely scenario is the cancellation of the book, seeing as though 291, according to several comic book related sites, that Comixology and all that, listed as canceled. However, the comic right now is only on hiatus. So, with that said, we'll get an official word by this upcoming week. Whatever that word may be, all I can say is, let's just hope for the best. Now, if push comes to shove, and Sonic and Archie, the Archie Sonic books are no more by this time next week, if the official word comes out that the Archie Sonic books are history, which we're not sure of just yet, then this is where I think IDW could come into play. You see, when Archie Comics lost the license to Ninja Turtles, we still had the Mirage Studio comics to go by. Yeah, Mirage was still doing their own comics. But for a while, the Ninja Turtles... Sorry about that. The Ninja Turtles bounced from publisher to publisher. First they went to Image and got a very darker reimagining or rebooting. Then I think they went to Dreamwave. And then finally they landed in IDW. In IDW, let's be honest, doesn't matter what kind of property they have, what kind of property I should say they have licensed out. It always seems that, how do I put this? It always seems that IDW treats their licensed properties with respect. That's right, they treat them with respect. And what that means basically is the people at IDW basically make the licensed comics, the franchised licensed comics, into what people expect them to be, if not a hybrid of what people expect them to be. And by doing so, it excites that fan base of that property, of that franchise. So when you take a look at the fact that IDW is publishing not one, not two, but basically 3 Ninja Turtle series, Ninja Turtle comics at once. That kind of shows you that they're doing something right. And what they're doing with these series is they got one that's basically dark, that's basically a hybrid of the original, a hybrid of what you know about Ninja Turtles from all walks of life, basically all different incarnations, with the exception, I think, of the 2012 series. You have basically a hybrid of all different incarnations of the Turtles in one comic book that's more like a PG-13 rated book, if you will. And then the second book that they're doing is basically an adaptation of the Nickelodeon animated series. And then the third one is sort of like a micro series where they basically focus on individual characters like April, Casey, Eloplex, you name it. So, what does this all have to do with Sonic, you might ask? Well, IDW could pick up the rights to the books, continue them where they left off, like I mentioned before. They could do that. Secondly, though, the one thing IDW has been doing that has been going on for the past several years, and if my calculation is correct, will end around the late portion of 2018, is the fact that IDW has been reprinting in graphic novel collection form. They have been reprinting in graphic novel collector edition form, or collector books form, the Archie take on Ninja Turtles. That is what they've been doing. From issue 1 to what will be coming out next month, which I think is 55 to 58, I believe, of the Ninja Turtles run, of the Archie Comics Ninja Turtle run, which is known as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures, and introduced Ninjara to the mix, who became Raphael's girlfriend. And like I said, this has obviously become huge, widely successful for IDW, because basically what they're doing is they're taking a series that was done by another comic book publisher and reprinting it under their name. Yes, obviously they got permission from Archie and Mirage and all that, but they're printing it under their name. And like I said, this is going to go on at least until the end of next year, or towards the end of next year, because if 59 to 62 could be the next one, and 63 to 66 is in September of this year, and 67 to 70 is around May of next year, and then 70 to 71, or 71, 72, whatever, is in September, you're looking at the finale of the Ninja Turtle Adventures graphic novels reprints by IDW, ending in either May of next year, spring of next year, or ending in the fall of next year. But anyway, mostly probably the spring, if they put all final 6 issues into the book. Well, 6 or 7 issues into the book. You know, if they do that, if they decide to gather all final 7 issues of the Archie comic run of the Ninja Turtles into one graphic novel for the spring of next year. But anyway, the reason I bring it up again, like I said, is because this is just an example of what IDW could do for Sonic. Think about this. Think about this. In just the past several years, they've taken a 72 to 73 issue comic and have republished it in graphic novel form, with the last volume coming out in possibly spring of next year. I mean, what did we get recently? What did we get? Like 12, and 13 is this May, and 14 is in September, and 15 is like next year. Maybe I'm wrong. I gotta look again. But if they can do that in just a short amount of time, think about that. That's like 2 graphic novels a year. So you're looking, since what? The beginning of, so you got 16, you got 15 possibly next year, you got 14 and 13 this year, 12 and 11 last year, 10 and 9 in 2015, 8 and 7 and 14, 6 and 5 and 13, 4 and 3 and 12, and 2 and 1 and 11. So within the span of 6 years, 6.5 years, if you will, next May, which would be around next May, maybe even 8, maybe even 7 years by that time. Maybe even 7 years by that time. Within the span of 7 years, the entire Archie comic run of Ninja Turtles would have been released, well, re-released, reprinted in graphic novel form, so that people can sit back and enjoy them. Now you might say, well, Brian, if you're alluding to what I think you're alluding to as a possibility, it's going to take a lot longer. And I agree with that. But think about this. Think about this, though. Had the Archie Comics run of Ninja Turtles gone for 100 issues, think about how much more we'd have to go. Okay? 67 to 70 is probably going, and possibly 71 to 72 will probably be the last graphic novel. Now, let's just assume the comic had gone to 100. 67 and 70 would be like 15, if you will. 71 to 74 would be like what? 16. That'd be in September of next year. You know, 75 to 78 would be in May of 2019. 79 to 82 would be in September of 19. 82 to 86, I think, or 85 would be at in the spring of 2020. 86 to 89 would be in the fall of that year. 90 to 93 would be in the spring of 2021. 94 to 97 would be in the fall of that year of 2021. And then here's what comes into play. 97 to 100 would be in the spring of 2022. So basically, in the span of what would it be, 13 years, the comic would have been completed in graphic novel form had Ninja Turtle Adventures gone to 100 issues. The point I'm getting at is IDW could do the same thing for Sonic. They could. I mean, they already got the reprints out there by Archie Comics. All they'd have to do is reprint them again or re-release them under their name, under the IDW name. And there you go. By being under the IDW name, they could reprint the issues. They could reprint the stories, and people would enjoy them. And it wouldn't. And again, if you have a company that's already reprinting a lot of the earlier issues in archival form, graphic novel form, it makes it a lot easier for maybe the next company to take over the license to reprint them and re-release them under their name. It's a lot quicker and faster. So you wouldn't have to worry about, oh, am I going to have to spend 26, 39 years just getting the whole collection? No. You would actually you wouldn't have to worry about that. Now, here's something else that's really interesting and really intriguing. They don't have to do all the issues. They can just do the main story arcs. And if you're new to the comic, they can do the main story arcs as one-off story arcs. So that way you're wondering, oh, I hope to see some, because if you're new, you think to yourself, wow, I would like to see more of this. And then all of a sudden here comes another graphic novel, based on a story arc released by IDW. The point is, IDW has an opportunity to pick up the slack, or do something for the Archie Sonic comics that they've been doing, and IDW could improve on that. And they could do the same thing similar to what they've done with Ninja Turtle Adventures. They can reprint, not probably the whole comic, but reprint basically they can reprint the most sought after story arcs published by Archie Comics, like the Sonic Adventure tie-in, Sonic Unleashed, the Order from Chaos, the Countdown to Chaos, that's what it is, the Countdown to Chaos, Endgame, Mecha Madness, they could do the Princess Sally arc within what? The Mecha Sally arc when did it start? 231, it ended in 247? They could do the Mecha Sally arc, which is basically 15 issues, or 16 issues, if you will, 15. If you look at 232 as being the first official full-length issue doing it, or focusing on it, or 231, I should say. They can basically adapt that arc for, what would it be if they go the 4-issue route? 4 issues, or 2 graphic novels a year, which is right about there. They could do it within the span of 2 years. They could. Within the span of 2 years, they could have the Mecha Sally arc out and done. Out and done within that span. Because think about it. 231 to 234, 35 to 38. Okay? That's 1 year, 2 graphic novels. And then 39 to 42. And then 43 to 47. That would work. That could actually work. And that's what I'm getting at. I know I'm sounding like I'm rambling on here, but what I'm getting at is this could actually work for the IDW comic. I mean, for the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. It could work. People would get invested in it. People would enjoy it. People would finally be able to, you know, from a very recent nostalgic standpoint, still get to see the characters they know. And here's another thing too. Not only could IDW pick up the slack for the comic, either by acquiring the license and just continuing the book and just continuing the story arc in the book from the last issue, or just reboot it from an issue 1 standpoint, but within the same context of the same retconned, rebooted universe, keep all that the same. But when you think about it, they have an opportunity right in front of them as well to re-release in graphic novel form a lot of the major story arcs that have made an impact and an imprint on the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, pre and post soft reboot retcon and post soft reboot retcon. They have a chance to reboot all that. Well, not reboot, but reprint all that, re-release all that, and maybe print and release as graphic novels for the first time for some of the story arcs. Like I mentioned, Endgame, the Mecha Sally arc, maybe within a span of 2 years, a year and a half. Countdown to Chaos, they could do that again. Shattered World, if they want to tackle that. You know, Panic in the Sky, the finale. You know, it's all there within their grasp, and they know it. And I think IDW knows this. I think IDW is going to be the first in line to say, hey, we'll take over control of the comic. We'll make sure it gets done right. But we don't know if that'll happen until we get official word by the end of the month, which will mean by the end of maybe next week at the latest. Now, what's even more crazy about this is, yes, IDW could benefit from this, and the Sonic comics could benefit from maybe a shuffling over, or a drafting, or a shake-up, or shuffling over to IDW. A deal can be made and reached. People know that. So that's why I think IDW could really benefit from possibly getting the Sonic comics. Not mostly because they could probably continue the story arc from the last issue, or just start it over in the same soft retcon rebooted universe it's in right now, with their own issue 1 deal. But the way I look at it, okay, is there something else that can benefit from it as well? Like I said, we won't know any real answer to the end of next week. But another thing that could benefit from Sonic the Hedgehog, from the comics, from the uncertainty of the future for the Archie Sonic comics, you know what could benefit from it? The SatAM cartoon. Heck, nostalgia critic Doug Walker recently did a crossover with Battle Geeks, I think, on the Nintendo versus Sega war. And he even mentioned how Sonic had 2 cartoons, and nostalgia critic Doug Walker himself kind of silently whispered to the audience watching Sonic SatAM was better. And there are people that are talking about it even now. You know why? Because there are people that are catching up on it via Stars. That's right, Stars and Encore, or on your premium cable channels have the Sonic the Hedgehog SatAM series. They have it on demand. They have it on certain times. When it first started, it was around like 8:20, around the 8:20, 8:30 time frame in the morning, weekday mornings. And now it's moved to about the 12:30, 12:45 time frame in the afternoon. But yet, it's still there, and you can watch the episodes on demand. And what's even best about that is the episodes are in high definition. You don't believe me? I watched the episodes on Stars and Encore on demand. You will see that the episodes are fill up the entire screen of your HD or Ultra HD television. And they're in 720p. May not be 1080p, but still they're in 720 HD, which is probably the best they can do. But they're there. And that is saying something for those characters. It really is saying something. So to me, when I hear that there's a possibility that the Archie Sonic book could be gone, you take a look at, like I said, the possibility that IDW could be the more likely source to swoop in, make a deal to either continue the comic or reboot it in the same universe and continuity that it started in. It left off in during the Archie run. You look at that possibility of that IDW could do that, as well as reboot, as well as release, reprint, and print and release, or like re-release and reprint the same graphic novels that Archie put out, but under the IDW name, and maybe even release and print newer graphic novels based on story arcs that had not gotten that treatment yet. You look at that and you say that sounds good in the long run, because that helps fans get more familiar. But then you take a look at the fact that Sonic SatAM is still on the air, especially now with Stars, and that deal doesn't come to an end until August of next year. You say to yourself, how is that related to this? It's simple. Fans can get the fix of Sonic, Sally, Bunny, Antoine, Tails, and Rhoda, and Nicole through that. They can. And I think that could help lead IDW into realizing, hey, this is what fans want to see, not what fans hate. This is what fans want to see, not what they don't want to detest. They want to see this. They like this. And like I said, Doug Walker, Nostalgia Critic, in the crossover he did with Battle Geeks on the Nintendo Sega War, even said at the beginning Sonic SatAM was better. Heck, a screen grab he used was from Blast of the Past Part 2 with Sonic and Sally. What does that tell you? The point is, folks, I look at what could happen with the Archie. I look at the possibilities of what could happen. I look at the uncertainty. I look at the what if factor. And I believe that in this case of what if, I truly believe IDW will be the one that that the license goes to. I truly believe they'll be the ones that re-release and release and reprint certain story arcs into graphic novels for the first time and for a re-release under the IDW name. I see them possibly continuing the story, but maybe rebooting it, but maybe doing it as an issue 1 deal. So it's in the same universe, same continuity, but it's issue 1 for the IDW run. And I see the Sonic SatAM series on Stars benefiting as well, because you still have fans of those characters that are going to want to see them, and not just in comic book form, but elsewhere, and this is where it comes into play. So, and that's where that's going to come into play. in a big, big way. So all I can say about that is these are just what ifs. If push comes to shove for the Sonic comics, for the Archie Sonic comics. So let me know what you guys think. I apologize for the wind, I apologize for the cars going by, but let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. I'm gonna give me some lunch. I've got about 21 minutes left. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll talk to y'all later. God bless, take care. But what do you think could be the future, the what if scenario? Do you agree with me? Let me know down below.